I mean, very much in terms of, I mean, Germany is a great example of where nationally, and this is where I'm going to get shot down in flames, but nationally the population is shrinking, but there are certain cities within Germany where population is growing, the demographics are very interesting, employment bases are strong. So part of the strategy that we've employed there, our first transaction was Frankfurt. Okay, perhaps not rocket science to choose that as a location, but the next two, one is in East Germany, the other is a much smaller city in Germany, sort of second tier city. And the research that we've done has been on the demographics, on the specifics of those cities, and we think that's very important. And again, you take that into, if you look at other regional markets, you know, Marcus talked about Spain, but if you start to look at the Netherlands, you know, how broad do you look in terms of the Netherlands? You know, is it just Amsterdam, or is it Amsterdam and The Hague? You know, how far do you go? If you look at Sweden, is it just all about Stockholm and the immediate area? Denmark, is it all about Copenhagen? You know, it's about coming up with a credible strategy for each of those locations, understanding the drivers of those markets. Turning to the UK, our view is actually there are lots of people who want to play in zones 1 and 2. What we feel is more interesting is taking and creating product for more the mass market, what I call the man on the Clapham omnibus. It's not just saying we want to build product that's going to be overlooking the Thames at £1,000, £1,500 a square foot. Fundamentally, the rents on those aren't affordable to the normal man, the normal working man or woman. What we want to do is look at opportunities, and we're looking at something at the moment where, you know, it's off £350 a square foot, 800 square foot flat, 280,000 quid. Move the same thing into central London, 800 square foot flat, just because the maths sound easy, £1,100 a square foot, it's £880,000. Same thing, different location, rents become affordable in those other locations. We think that's really interesting, and there's some really good opportunities and operators that we're working with at the moment on that. Provinces, again, to use, I think it's an office term, sort of big six, you can see as obvious in terms of cities around the UK. So it's Bristol, it's Birmingham, it's Leeds, it's Manchester, Edinburgh, Glasgow. Issues with independence, we better not go there, but potentially that could be an issue, although we've just closed actually on an office building in Glasgow, so as a house we still buy into Scotland. So I think those are the sort of the things that you start to look at. It's the underlying fundamentals of these locations. You know, I've got a nice chap who keeps on sending me schemes in Cheltenham. It's a spa town. It's fantastic, but fundamentally, you build 100 units in Cheltenham, you're becoming a major part of the market. So we're not going to go down into those sort of micro environments. It's the larger conurbations.